Welcome back. Let us now look at static URL path in Flask. And for that, I'm already in the project folder L11 and let's create a file app.py. So this is going to be the main file, and in addition to this, we will go ahead and create the two folders, which is the static folder, and we can also create the templates folder. Now in the static folder, we can create a file which is style.css, and in the templates folder, we'll create our HTML file index.html. All right, so now what we'll do is we'll write our code in app.py, and I'll explain where the static URL path comes into play. So to get started, we are going to first import the Flask. From Flask, import Flask with a uppercase F. Then we are also going to import a render template to render the HTML. And as usual, we will initialize the app by typing app is equal to Flask open close parenthesis name, and that we'll leave it at that, and we'll come back to the static URL path in just a moment. Then we'll add the app.route, and here we'll keep this just as forward slash for the base URL. Then we write the function below it, index, and here we are simply going to return render template, and we'll specify the name index.html. And finally, we are going to use the if name is equal to main, because we are going to run this file directly in the terminal, and therefore we need to type this app.run debug is equal to true. All right, so our app.py file is created. Then what we need to do is create our index.html file, and here we can start by saying, hey, this is the HTML5, and so we specify the doc type. And then, as you may already know by now, for HTML we have the starting and ending angle brackets, and then inside of this we can type the head again with start and end angle brackets, and within the head we are going to write our title. So title again with start and end there, and within this we are going to write the title Flask static underscore URL underscore path demo. And then below this we are going to specify the link is equal to rel, and we'll specify the style sheet, and where the file is located, href is equal to, and within quotation we have two curly braces, and we say url underscore for open close open parenthesis static close, and then file name is equal to style.css, and we close that with the angle brackets. Below this we have the body, and in the body we just have the header h1, welcome to static url path demo. Right, so that is our HTML file. Now we need to write the CSS body, and here we can specify background color, and this could be anything. Let's put light yellow. Then we have the color, and this, let's put dark green, and below that font family. font family, and here we can say put Arial and then sans serif. All right, so with this we have our CSS file ready. Now if we go back to the terminal, here I'm going to just say uh, clear, let's say clear cd dot forward slash L11, and let's look at the files. So that those are the files we have. Now I'm going to now uh, run the app.py file, python app.py, and nothing has happened because uh, here we have the app.run. Alright, I figured out what the problem was. Likely I didn't save the app.py file, and so now that I've saved it, let's try and run this again. Python app.py, and this starts the Flask server, and we can run this, and here is the output. So we can see the rendered HTML index.html based on the style that we had specified here in the CSS. All right, so where does the style URL path come into play now? What we can do is here we can specify the name of the static folder. So static underscore folder, and this folder can have the name static that we already do have the default name, and then static URL path is equal to, here we can specify a path, let's say assets. And what this would do is whenever we try to access the asset static folder publicly, it can be done so using assets. Instead of using the word static, we can use the word assets, and I'll tell exactly what that means. Let's go back here and run this file. So as you can see, the run is the same as we did before, and now what I'm going to do is change this name to some other, let's say galaxy static. So it's a completely different custom name of the folder, uh, and but still if we have the static folder mentioned here, specified the URL path here, we can still render the HTML because we have specified that as an input argument when we initialize the app. So now this is what we have, the setup, and if I go ahead and stop that and rerun this python app.py, and as you'll see this will run just fine because uh, we have specified the name as custom name, but then we have specified the URL assets. So if we had some folder or some image in the static folder, so if we just write that as static, if there were an image in the static folder, then we could access that image in here by typing the path assets. So we could type image img src, so source is equal to, within quotes we can specify the path assets, and then logo.jpg. I've put a file, if you see in the on the left hand side, this is the logo.jpg file that I've put, and then add a alternative text to this is equal to logo. And hopefully now when we run this particular app.py file again, it'll be able to recognize not only uh, uh, the assets for the folder here, which let's say this is called static, so I will need to go back and rename this to static, so so that uh, files within it are accessible. All right, so again clear this, rerun the entire thing again, and when we run this, this just says logo because it hasn't found the file. So logo.jpg, let's see if that is the what oh, I said log.jpg, so that was my mistake. Now when we refresh this, we see that uh, we see the complete logo in there, and that is because we have specified a static URL path here with assets, and that is the URL we are using here, assets. Rather than saying static, we are using assets, and that is the main use of the static URL path. So that was it for this lesson. I hope to see you all in the next lesson. Until then, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.